very long. So I would like to introduce myself. My name is Sabina. Many of you talked with me and in the communication about this tournament. We will see each other throughout the whole games. So I'm the president of the organizing committee of this whole tournament. I'm also a member of DiaVolley, which is association that is organizing this. And I would like to welcome all of you, all the participating team who arrived to Slovakia so far. We are still missing two, but they will come hopefully very soon. So I would also like to introduce our special guests. Mrs. Magdalena Danilova, the Director General of the Economics and Operation Division, and Mr. Martin German from the Office of Minister. They are representing the Ministry of Tourism and Sport of Slovak Republic. Welcome. I would also like to introduce our special guest, Milan Sedliak, who is the Vice Dean for Research Activities and PhD Studies, and he's representing Faculty of Physical Education and Sports, Comenius University in Bratislava. Welcome. I need to apologize one more guest, who is the President of Slovak Diabetes Society, who will join us later due to some unforeseen circumstances, but she will be here as well. So without further ado, I would like to say only few words about our association. I know many of you already know about us. So I think the most important thing is to introduce our founder, who is also the head and the president of our society, DiaVolley, Dr. Lubomir Barak. And only few things, I mean, you can ask us anything throughout the whole tournament and we can tell you more about it. But we are a small association. We are only made from volunteers. I'm a member of the organizing committee as well. We are also member of IDF. We are association primarily for people with type 1 diabetes. And we are focused on multiple events such as educational seminars. We do annual summer and winter camps for people, so you are all welcome to join us for hiking and wellness trips or skiing trips in winter, which are combined with other people with diabetes. We have lots of sports events as well. We organize beach volleyball, bowling, yoga, many sports days, events as such. But this one is first year we decided to create something bigger. And we created the DiaVolley Cup. So the idea was to combine something we really love, which is sport, especially volleyball. I love it as well. We wanted to show people that diabetes will not stop us. I think it works for all of us here. And basically, there is the Dia Euro, which is international futsal tournament for people with diabetes, but it's always focused only on male players. We wanted to break the barriers and include female players as well, which is why we decided to create the volleyball tournament. Okay. And I would also like each team to stand up, so I will introduce the teams. So maybe if you want to say something, the team as well, you can. So we will know who will be fighting against in the tournament. So the first one, I would like to welcome Team Albania. Would you like to say something?
Hello, it's a pleasure to are here because it's the first time for us. If you are, all of you have the experience in this event, but we are for the first time, and you saw that I'm very emotional for this. And I hope that everything is okay. I'm very glad in the name of the Albanian Diabetes Association of Albania that do possible to come here. I hope that everything is okay. It's pleasure to meet with you.
Albania. Now I would like Team Croatia to stand up as the second team from Slovenia.
Thank you. Why we are actually new organization in Croatia, but from what we are, our team is a member of the Diabete team, and we want to spend our time and spend for some other sports. So this is a great opportunity to do that. Thank you.
And now I would like Team Italy.
Hello, everybody. We are very excited to be here. It's first time for us too in this kind of tournament. And we really believe in the value of the inclusion and that diabetes it mustn't be a limit for us, but a further achievement. So we are really ready to play and enjoy this moment with you all. And we are impatient to meet you tomorrow and to enjoy the moment. Thank you.
Very excited group. We are sharing the enjoyment. So now I would like to invite Team Poland to stand up.
Hello, everybody. We are very excited that we can participate with us. In Poland, we love the organization and stuff, so we love to join to play the games with you and have fun because the humor is helping us to struggle with diabetes and everything in life. So have fun, everybody.
So for now, I will say that Team Portugal is coming as well, but because their flight is delayed, they will arrive shortly before midnight. So they will be joining all the tournament festivities tomorrow, but you will meet them either at night somewhere around walking, or you will see them early morning at breakfast. Okay, so that's Team Portugal. Now Team Slovakia. Should I speak? Okay, so this is Team Slovakia. They are my dear friends. They are all members of our association DiaVolley. We all enjoy volleyball. In our free time, I organize beach volleyball in summers for people with diabetes. And yeah, they are very excited to join me in the tournament and play very nice games tomorrow. Thank you. Okay, so the last team is team from Uzbekistan. Small hiccup, tiny hiccup. So, team Uzbekistan unfortunately had some issues with their visa, and they got them too late. But don't worry, they will join us tomorrow. It's just due to their visa, they needed to book the flight later on, so they will join us around lunch. Which means that before we will get to the draw part, but I will explain now that they will have to forfeit one game because they will not be here in the morning, but I will explain this more when we will do the draw and the system. Okay? Yes. Okay. Okay, so now I will shortly talk about the schedule for tomorrow and the days after. You can take pictures if you want, but I can send it to the managers or the coaches. I will create the group afterwards, so I can send it there as well, so you can have it. There is one announcement for tomorrow morning. There is a an issue with the accommodation, not really issue, but there is a fire alarm exercise, fire alarm drill. I don't know if you know what it means.
Yeah.
It means they will like rush you outside of the building, you need to be accounted for. And we wanted to make it as seamless as possible for you. So we decided to have breakfast earlier until 8. Grab your things and go to the sports hall. We will all walk together and be there at 8:45. So we can start a little bit sooner, but we don't need to run around the building chasing people who are still inside the building, if it's okay. So we will have the volleyball games in the morning until lunch. Then we have a very fresh and sweet break, which is a swimming pool relaxation. So we book a big swimming pool next to the sports hall. So I would like you all, as I mentioned in the communication, to bring your swimsuits and towels. So right after the games, we will go in the next building and we will have some nice relaxation. Then we will go to have lunch here, and then we will continue with the games in the afternoon. It's possible it will be delayed for a few minutes because we need to be on time. But anyways, it's fun. It's the tournament, so we will see how it goes. For the next day, we have breakfast as scheduled. We have elimination games. Then we have lunch break. And in the afternoon, after the lunch break, we will have special interactive games in the city, in the streets of Bratislava. So you will get to know each other. We will create special teams. You will compete for a prize. So it's going to be fun. And we will spend some time together. It's going to be a bit different. So hopefully you will enjoy it. And after the game, we will have dinner together elsewhere. So we will not have dinner here. We will have it at the restaurant, all of us together. Okay? And then on Saturday, we will start with breakfast as well. And then we will have games for the fifth and third place. We will have lunch break. Then we will have the final. And then we have the final ceremony with prizes. Okay. Now, I think this will be all from me. Now I will like to invite one of our staff, Luka. Sorry, I didn't see that. Who is also a member of IDF and who is a professional. She will tell you more about her. She will give us short presentation about sport and diabetes, which is she's the master in it, so you will know more about her. After the presentation, we will do the draw, so we will know the groups and more. Okay, thank you for now.
Everyone. So I will have a little bit of educational presentation for you. I will try to keep it as short as possible, but still to give you some very useful information which you can use in the future. Shortly something about me. I'm an assistant professor at the Faculty of Physical Education and Sports, as well as the Faculty of Pharmacy. I'm a clinical exercise physiologist with focus mostly on the muscle physiology, diabetes, and exercise biochemistry. I'm also a diabetic who competed formerly in basketball, and nowadays I'm a national competitor in powerlifting. So I will try to give you some personal insights as well as so all of you are exercising and you know that before we start to do any kind of exercise, there are so many things we need to think about, such as when we are starting, how much insulin on board do we have, how long we are going to exercise, how is our current blood sugar, and so on. Those are challenges which are a little bit involved with a normal athlete. And we know that different kind of exercise differently affect our glycemia. So if you're talking about any kind of endurance exercise, we know that our blood sugar is usually dropping, so we do not need that much insulin inside of our system. When we're talking about the mixed games such as volleyball, then we know that it's something in between. So if there is very kind of power activity that let the blood sugar be increasing, otherwise if it's a bit slower, it's decreasing. If we are talking about any kind of anaerobic exercise, such as me as a powerlifter, I usually can observe that my glycemia is highly increasing. There is a physiological basis behind all of this, and it's mostly the hormones which are increasing. And in this thing, we are talking about the adrenaline, cortisol, and other stress hormones which can increase our glycemia, and they are not fully presented during the endurance exercise. Why we're doing these hormones is because we need to utilize during these exercises different kind of energetic substrates, which means some, if you're doing endurance, you need more sugar. If you are doing something anaerobic, like working in a gym, you do not need that much sugar, but you need the adrenaline to increase your strength and power so you can be as strong as possible. It's few years ago, there has been created some guidelines for athletes with type 1 diabetes. They're currently used, and this all is thankfully to the Team Novo Nordisk, the cycling team. And because the research was performed on them, so they started creating some guidelines how we can work. So if you want, you can take a picture and you can read them later. According to these guidelines, what we should there are some things we need to think about. So the first thing is who is going to compete. If you are a regular athlete or if you are someone who is already starting with some kind of exercise, so the blood sugar is differently affected. If you are a regular athlete who is competing for several years, you have a regular trainings, then you know that your body system has already adjusted to this exercise. However, if you're someone new, then you can see that there are different fluctuations in your blood sugar. So your insulin sensitivity needs to adjust to the exercise. Then it's what? What kind of exercise we are going to do? As I described before, there are different types of exercise and they are differently affecting our blood sugar. The other thing is when. When it's the best to exercise, if it's in the morning or if it's in the afternoon. So what we know currently from the literature is that for diabetes it's much better to exercise early in the morning or during the day because we still don't have that much insulin on board and we are still eating, so the risk of hypoglycemia is much lower compared to the evening exercises. Because if you know the effect of exercise is from 24 to 48 hours. So it means if you are exercising later in the evening, you may be affected during the night by hypoglycemia. Then it's where you are going to exercise. I think now many of us will be struggling a little bit with the heat in the gym. This is also something which is affected a little bit negatively of blood sugar. Then on the other side, if for example, skin is also something which is negatively affecting our exercise. And also nowadays, it's our insulin pumps, CGMs, and so on. So this is also something you need to think about. Then it's why. There are different motivations. If you are a regular diabetic who is just doing the exercise for the benefits for our health, it's something different comparing to you when you are an actual elite athlete because you are performing for something different. And then there are a little bit of differences in the management of diabetes. And the last thing is how you are going to control it, how you are going to learn from the results you have during the training, and what kind of medical devices and sports devices you are going to use during the time. So if you want to effectively manage your diabetes during the exercise, there are like 4 stages you should be thinking about. The first one is prepare. So you need to think in advance what kind of exercise and when do you want to do it. The other thing is you need to, in the real time, adjust your insulin intake as well as the carbs intake during the performing. Very easy example, if you are running, for example, 10 kilometers or a half marathon, we are talking about in 1 hour to 2 hours. It means that you should be actually intaking around 30 grams of carbohydrates every 30 minutes. Then there is the stabilize, because as I said, there is the effect of the exercise from 24 to 48 hours. So if you are, for example, after this endurance running, you should be increasing your insulin and checking the risk of the hypoglycemia by increasing of the intake in carbohydrates. And if you go through all of this, there is the last stage, and it means to study. You need to look at your results behind to learn if you did everything correctly or not, and to learn for the advance. This is something very important, and to my clients and students, this is always something I'm explaining, and it's the best to exercise and what kind of exercise. So if your glycemia is below 4 millimoles per liter, you should be taking within the 15 minutes before the exercise around 15 to 20 grams of carbohydrates. So your glycemia will increase to the optimal level, which is between 4 to 10. There are some other guidelines which are saying that the best glycemia is from 7.5 to 10 millimoles. What I would like to say, every one of us is a little bit different. So even within this range, you should find your perfect number which suits you the best. For example, in my case, if I'm doing powerlifting, I feel the best around 7 millimoles. However, if I'm going to run, I feel much better and safer somewhere around 10 millimoles per liter. So for each type of exercise, I have my best number where I feel that my performance can be the best one. If your glycemia is a bit higher than 10 millimoles, it's still okay if you do any kind of gym exercise, strength training, or if you are going to run, or any kind of endurance. There is only one thing you should keep in mind. It's very good for running. However, if you are doing a strength training, there are all these hormones which are increasing your glycemia. So you should keep this in your mind and adjust a little bit insulin before current exercise. And if you are more than 14 millimoles per liter, it's not very good for you to do any kind of a strength training at all. But this is the theory behind exercising. Tomorrow we are starting the tournament, and that's something totally different. One thing is exercise, training and exercise, and the other thing is competition, because there is another additional value which we need to keep in our mind, and it's the psychological stress, which is even more enhancing our physiological background, and therefore we can suffer more from hypoglycemia. This is something, when the first time I saw this picture to my doctor, I was too scared to show this, but this is the real thing behind the competition. Both of these pictures are actually from my Slovak powerlifting competition, the national ones. So I can tell you I was too stressed. One thing is that I really need to be in a stress to get as much adrenaline as you can so you can perform your best one repetition maximum. The other thing is like you can see all the best athletes there from Slovakia and you want to be them. So that was something additional. My glycemia increased directly from the beginning to 20s, and you can see this little bit drop over there. My glycemia dropped to 16.4, if I remember correctly. I felt like I had a very severe hypoglycemia. I couldn't perform or couldn't exercise at all. This was with the open loop system. This was the powerlifting competition with the closed loop systems. It was totally the same thing, and it was very much associated with my psychological stress. So that's why we should talk about the hypoglycemia symptoms during training and competition because it's something that every one of you, I'm sure, has already experienced. So basically, the symptoms are the same as during the normal hypoglycemia. However, the hypoglycemia negativity affects our performance. So it means there can be a delayed reaction time, for example, for serving tomorrow important to play. There's going to be reduced focus, so you cannot concentrate as well as you all can during the normal glycemia. There's going to be severe fatigue, which you can perceive. And also, if the performance is at the highest level, you can feel, for example, the muscle soreness and experience severe muscle cramps. Therefore, in elite sports, there is the cognitive slowing, fatigue, and muscle cramp can especially limit all the overall performance during the competition. There are two things we should talk about. There is the general stress, and there is the stress associated with the hypoglycemia, the anxiety associated with the hypoglycemia. So, and why this matter is because the stress and anxiety before the competition can remarkably increase the blood sugar, and it's not very common in every athlete. What is happening? So it's the pre-event stress, the adrenaline is increasing, therefore the blood sugar is rising. So some of you might be doing adjusting as much as possible, and your body is not reacting as it should be normally. The other thing some athletes are doing is that they are not eating at all. However, it's also not very good because you need fuel to perform as well as possible. And therefore, there is the practical approach. There is no current universal guidelines for how to deal with the hypoglycemia during this competition when it's associated with the physiological stress. Therefore, each of you should have an individual approach. You should monitor yourself as often as possible and individualize the meal time with an insulin strategy. And also in some elite teams, it's very good that the athletes are working with the sports psychologist. This is the most current study according to the hypoglycemia related anxiety in elite athletes. So basically, what they did in this study was they hired 10 best elite athletes in Canada. They were competing in cross-country swimming, track running, ice hockey, rugby, volleyball, basketball, baseball. They had 5 male and 5 female. Some of them were using injected insulin. Some of them had the CEC. And basically, what they did, they gave them a qualitative questionnaire. So they were asking it how they are feeling having this hypoglycemia and how they are dealing with the hypoglycemia. So these are a few of the most interesting quotes they had, and maybe you can read a little bit, and maybe some of you will find yourself inside. So basically, what they did is that the more physiological level is the constant threat, so the blood sugar was rising. Basically, they couldn't talk about it to their teammates because it's not something like you are injured, but it's something which is really affecting you. And they know they were scared to make any other mistakes because they felt that like cognitively they are not really well working. So therefore, they created some strategies. So this is something which is what you should keep in your mind. So this the insulin and nutrition adjusting before the game. There's the technology which you are using. So it's CGM all of us are using. So it's something you should actually read and apply the what, when, how strategy. It's the routines which you need to have. So, for example, I was talking about the Team Novo Nordisk. So, before they have any kind of competition, there is a few weeks when they have exactly created time when they are going to compete. within the time they had few weeks before training, so the body can adjust to the competition. And there is also very sleep. So the quality of sleep is also something which is affecting the blood sugar. If the poor quality of sleep, the high glycemia is going to be. And there is the psychological preparation. So what you should take with yourself for the few upcoming days, you should develop the plan. We should consider what type of exercise you're going to do, intensity, how long you are going to exercise, and the timing of the game when you are going to play. Then there should be adjusted plan meals and carbohydrates intake. So that's what we tried. Our organizing committee to do is, so it should be fun for it. And also thinking about if you need to increase or reduce the insulin on board during this time of competitions. Then there is the rest and nutrition, which is something you should think about. So you need to prioritize a very good night's sleep. You need to have a balanced carbohydrate and protein meals at least 3 hours before the game. And also allow the time for the digestion and the action of insulin. So there is not going to be that much affecting within 2 hours with the postprandial hypoglycemia. And the last thing is technology and monitoring which you are using, but I'm sure you are all very well. Okay, there is the one last thing I would like to very quickly talk about. It's not very much associated with the diabetes, but it can be also present in elite athletes, and it's the relative energetic deficiency in sports. Basically, it's something which can very negatively affect your overall health. I was speaking about that we are sometimes scared because of the hypoglycemia, eating too much carbohydrates, and we are playing with insulin. This is also something which can trigger this relative energetic deficiency in sports, and especially I would like to speak to the women. It's associated with the female threat. So please be careful with your BMI, with your body fat. Don't try to get as skinny as possible and try to eat regularly every meal, not play with it too much. Because there is the one very bad thing that can happen, it's losing the menstruation cycle, which can negatively affect the bone health, and also it can very negatively affect the hormonal diabetes. This is not present only in females, but currently we know that this is present also in males, but it's much more hidden. So if you will be willing to discuss this, I'm free here to talk about it. And yeah, there is no detail or original plan for everyone. All I would like to conclude with this presentation, each of you need to prepare your individual learn how to deal with the competition in hand in hand with your diabetologist and the other exercise experts. So thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you, Luca, very much for your presentation. I know.
I have any question.
Yes.
Okay.
For the games, because we are all diabetics, and we have many problems of glycemia during the games. There is something about additional time up or additional change over the 6 for glycemia problems or weak management in the rules of games.
You discuss if something like this will happen during the game.
Yes.
There is also additional break or timer, or you can switch the players. So
Yes.
you can rest and get better, and then you can come back to the game.
There is a rule of 2 girls in a court every time.
No, of course. So the changing of the players,
Yes.
if you have hypo, no problem. It can be unlimited. So if
Over
somebody
unlimited,
has,
okay,
of course, we are all people with diabetes, so there is no issue. If somebody is hypo, he's just sitting down, they can change anytime.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
One more very technical.
Do you allow players to get mobile
Yes, of course. Sorry, yes. This is fun tournament. Don't worry. Thank you. Do you have any other question? I will just there's so much need, I apologize. So thank you, Lutka, very much for interesting presentation. I know there is lots of information that it can be hard to digest in the evening or for someone who doesn't speak English very well. So we can send you the presentation, you can look at it at home or in the evening, you can translate it, you can ask Lutka, she will be here the whole time. Or each of the team has doctor, we have a doctor here as well, so we are all here. So if there is any issue, come to me or come to Dr. Barak, so we can help you with anything. Lubo, Dr. Lubo, sorry, I apologize. Okay, one more thing before we will come to the draw for the teams and the groups. We will have meeting. After this meeting, you will have 30 minutes. You can discuss anything regarding the games for tomorrow. And in 30 minutes after we finish, we will have meetings with coaches and managers and captains of the teams. With me and doctor, we will be sitting where we are. Do you remember the room where we were giving you the blue bags when we enter on the left side? So there will be meeting in 30 minutes. We can discuss the games. Basically, organizing committee and you as managers and captains, we will all be there and we can discuss with your remarks, your questions about the game, anything. Okay? Okay. Any more questions from you before we continue? No? No? Okay. So basically, there is 7 teams right now. So we will have 2 groups. In one group, there is 4 teams. One group will be 3 teams. Because Uzbekistan is not here, they will be already included in group A. So they will be A4. They immediately go to the group. We will go in alphabetic order. I will explain. Okay. So it will look like this. There are envelopes, they are clear. So we will not see through. We will ask captains to come here and choose their envelope so they can see which group they belong to. It looks like this inside. We will close the envelopes, we will mix them, so you will choose freely. Is that okay with everyone? Any remarks? Good? Okay. Okay, so this one basically is the envelope of Uzbekistan. They already go to the group A. Okay? So I would like to ask captain of Albania. Yes. Yes. Okay, we are mixed, but you can. Okay. You can open, or you can stand here, show us. Okay, so Albania. A1. A1. Okay. Croatia, Team Croatia.
Come capitano ci fanno dei chat.
Mani basse.
Senza occhiali per
Poi li fai tutti, Cesare.
B2. You can take it with you. We will put the draw of the teams here. We will take it to the room so you can see at all times. Okay? Okay, now I forgot the alphabet. Italy, sorry.
Sai aprire.
Poland. No stress, it's just a game.
Girava la busta, si vedeva.
Hey, two.
Okay, and then Slovakia is last one. As we said, Portugal is not here, but we are not cheating them. They are alphabetically in line, and there is last one envelope, so it will be for them. They will find out at midnight. But we will find out because of the thing.
Viva!
Okay, so now, in 30 minutes, I have just last two announcements, I believe. Okay, now you're all my witnesses. This is the last envelope, so this will be the envelope for Portugal in alphabetical order. Okay, A3 for Portugal. So the final draw for A, Group A is Team Albania, Team Poland, Team Portugal, Team Uzbekistan. And Group B is Team Slovakia, Team Croatia, and Team Italy. I would like to introduce our last final special guest, who is Miss I apologize, Adriana Ilavska, who is the president of Slovak Diabetes Society. Neviem, či slovenčine alebo angličtine. Koľko si rozumiete po slovensky? I think that's for me in English on the paper, so maybe I will read from the paper. Anyhow, I would like to welcome you in Slovakia, especially in Bratislava, as a president of Slovak Diabetes Society. Let me introduce myself. I have a personal note. In your age, I played volleyball as you competitively. So I remember all my experience. I remember my feelings, and it's a great honor to be here with you. And I wish you all the best and good luck in your volleyball. Okay, thank you. Okay, before we finish, we'll just recap back to Uzbekistan, as I mentioned before, because there is 14 in Group A. There will be probably one match they will have to lose by default, because they will not be here at the first groups, but afterwards they will play. So hopefully it's okay with everyone. We can discuss it more at the meeting in half an hour. If you have any questions, you can discuss it with the team and we will talk about it. One last thing, if I can ask the team captains, coaches, managers to bring the doctor certificates to the meeting. And yeah, yay, thank you.